Years after he quit smoking, a lung cancer scan saved his life. Dennis Schmidt, a 74-year-old nursing veteran, started smoking in high school, when a Catholic charter school even had a dedicated spot for senior smokers. He puffed a pack of menthols a day for almost 40 years, even though he was a registered nurse at the University of Cincinnati Medical Center and a former Air Force medic. He knew the risks, but when he tried to quit in the early 2000s, nothing worked. It wasn't until 2007, when a new prescription medication to curb cravings hit the market, that he finally put the cigarettes down and never looked back. Even with that background, Dennis didn't know that a lung cancer screening program existed for people like him, past and current smokers. The U.S. Preventive Services Task Force, a respected independent panel, issued its recommendation in 2013, yet the uptake has been alarmingly slow. The next chapter in Dennis's story began at a routine Medicare wellness visit in 2021. His primary care doctor, ticking off the list of questions, asked whether he'd be willing to have a low-dose CT scan to look for cancer. Dennis agreed, and a few days later, the test results were posted to his patient portal, adenocarcinoma. He recalls the moment his eyes hit those words. It was stunning. I knew what that was, cancer. The diagnosis was a stark reminder. Lung cancer remains the leading cause of cancer deaths in the United States, with about 125,000 deaths expected this year, outpacing any other common cancers. Despite this grim statistic, a 2024 study shows that only roughly a quarter, or even less when certain datasets are examined, of people eligible for lung cancer screening keep up with the annual scans that the USPSTF recommends. Thor and Sao surgeon Dr. Chifu Jeffrey Yang, who also wrote a recent JAMA editorial on the subject, called the rates abysmally low, especially given how deadly the disease is. Older adults have a higher risk because age itself is a risk factor and because these individuals often smoked for longer periods in the past. About 20% of lung cancer cases occur in never smokers, but smoking remains the dominant cause. Even if the exposure happened decades ago, the ghost of those years stays. That is why Dr. Preeti Bandy, an epidemiologist at the American Cancer Society, emphasizes that the risk doesn't vanish after quitting. Compellingly, the data shows that people over 65 are more likely to stay current on lung cancer screening, yet only about a third of that age group actually do it every year, far below the completion rates seen with colonoscopies and prostate cancer tests, which Dennis himself has consistently undergone. Dennis's experience underscores a broader public una. In a world where smoking habits and medical knowledge have evolved, a routine scan can catch a silent threat before it becomes life-threatening. If you're a former smoker or currently quit after years of smoking, talk to your doctor about whether you qualify for a low-dose CT scan. It could be life-saving. And that's the story of Dennis Schmidt, a former smoker who turned decades of habit into a lesson about vigilance. His early decision to quit, followed by the timely CT scan, prevented what could have been a later, more dangerous chapter. Thank you for listening. If thousands of people can change their health outcomes like Dennis, there's a powerful reason to get screened.